Hi, this is Beth from the House of White, and this video is an excerpt from our private course. This is an example of what you'll learn if you study with us and may include information from the easiest way to learn the tarot ever or our new book, Advanced Tarot Secrets. If you'd like to learn the tarot from experts, please email me at beth@houseofwhite.net. Also, we have an astrology course starting in 2 weeks. If you're interested, go here for the full details.
Hi, welcome back. Now we're going to be talking about why every spread needs a protagonist. If you cast a blind reading and you don't ask good questions and you haven't gotten any information from your client, and if you fail to figure out from whose point of view the spread is being read from, then you're only going to make it harder. Now in this particular case, I'm going to have Beth do a spread. Beth, your client walks in and she says, is my boyfriend cheating on me? I need to know, and what's going to happen in our relationship. So she's coming in very suspicious. You've asked her a couple of questions. You've got a good idea of how long they've been involved and what her attitude on the relationship is and kind of why she feels like he's cheating. Take it away.
I'm going to pick him as the protagonist of the spread. We want to see what's going through his mind. And based on what she's told me, he was her knight in shining armor. So let's pick the Knight of Wands and let's see things from his viewpoint.
Now, are you going to use that as the first card of your spread?
I am.
Okay,
I'm just going to go with that and let it be the first card.
Let's throw out some cards and see what shows up.
Okay.
Oh, this looks happy.
Yeah.
And we're almost there. Wow. Okay, now before we get too much into the reading, since we're not reading it from her perspective, because we know what she feels or wants.
Right.
We're trying to get into the mind of her boyfriend.
Right, and since he's the protagonist, we're going to know a little bit more about him from cards 7 and 9, so I decided to use her viewpoint in card 8.
So that's the pressure that she is putting on him in the relationship.
Right.
All right, so what can you tell us, just looking at cards 7 and 9, would be the Lovers and the Fool. What can you tell us about it? And please point.
Okay, well, his fear, being the Lovers, I'm going to say he has a fear of commitment to this relationship, and the Fool, being what he wants, is that he wants to leave. He wants something new. He wants to start something new.
Now, those two cards work well together, because if somebody has a deep-seated fear of commitment, it's not unlikely that they would want to walk. So those two cards kind of reinforce each other. Well, what about card 8? What does that show us? What kind of pressure or attitude does she seem to be putting on him?
Well, it looks like she wants to have a baby, like she wants to get pregnant. She wants him to be her baby daddy.
Well, now it's starting to take shape. So she wants him to have she wants to be him. I can't speak today. We're just going to keep going with this. She wants him to be the baby daddy, but she seems to be awakening his natural fears of commitment, which it's not that she's doing something wrong, but because she really wants this and he doesn't, that explains why he really wants out with the Fool. Tell us about card 3. That'll kind of give us a kind of behind the green curtain view of how this all came about.
Well, since it's the Empress reversed, it looks like he might have some mother issues in his past.
And card 4, does that say anything to you?
Yeah, he's had his heart broken before.
So we're starting to see a pattern here. We're seeing, without even looking at the individual cards, we're seeing a story shape up where she's asking us if he's cheating or what's going on. Now, we can see from his point of view that this is not something new for him.
Right.
But he feels pressured, and so he's just trying to run like a jackrabbit. Tell me about card 5, though. I mean, yeah, card 5 at the top. What
Looks
is it?
like they have not been getting along and that they have nothing in common.
So that's kind of like the black cloud hanging over the relationship.
Mhm.
It's funny that you mentioned cheating because look at that 8 of Cups. It looks like he's sneaking out in the middle of
Yeah,
the night.
he's sneaking away.
Well, the 8 of Cups and the 7 of Swords both indicate that he's kind of sneaking out in the middle of the night.
Yes, and since this is from his viewpoint, even card 2 tells us that he's thinking about walking away, leaving.
So what else can you tell me about that
Well,
from his perspective?
on card 2,
On just the entire spread.
on the entire spread, it looks like that he's already been leaving or walking out on her. It looks like he has a fear of commitment and that he's going to get his wish since this is from his viewpoint, and it looks like he is going to end up leaving the relationship.
So this isn't necessarily good news for your client, but this is a very clear indication of a dysfunctional relationship, and it shows us, since you're doing it from his perspective, a completely different story than what she's telling you.
Right.
So whether or not there's a good guy or a bad guy, well, if we were to take sides, it's easy to take her side because of the fact that it looks like he either has been or is getting ready to cheat. But the best we can say about him is he's just uncomfortable in the situation and looking for any means to escape it.
Yeah, exactly.
So if we did the spread from her point of view, we would get different cards because cards 7 and 9, if you could point to those, please.
7 and 9.
Those would indicate her perspective, what she wants out of the relationship and what she's afraid of. But because of her question, as a reader, you decided to read from his point of view to give her more accurate information rather than just tell her what she already knows by reading her point of view.
Right.
So this is the difference between just casting a blind reading and deciding in advance whose point of view you're going to do the reading from. And this is the mark of a true expert. This gives you a lot more information just out of the same 10 cards. And this is before we get into all the fancy stuff. All right, well, I hope that helps. Thank you very much.